And in last evening's edition of the newsroom, Rahul Kanwal was in conversation with former top cop and BJP leader Kiran Bedi on this big India Today expose. Let's listen in.
One of India's best-known law enforcers, former IPS officer Dr. Kiran Bedi is joining me on this broadcast. Joining me also is my colleague Atir Khan, who put this story together. I want to go across to Dr. Bedi first. Dr. Bedi, how do law enforcement agencies deal with a challenge of this nature? Because as Atir said in his speech to camera, this could possibly be just the tip of the iceberg. You've got land that's been taken to manufacture medicines. That factory instead is being misused to produce these recreational drugs. How do law enforcement agencies stay one step ahead of the offenders?
Well, such a thing would probably fall in the purview of industrial espionage or industrial intelligence. Industrial intelligence or commercial intelligence. I don't think we have a component like this as much as commercial intelligence. You don't expect a beat officer to be doing.
Okay.
Because with the limited resources in crime prevention and crime detection, they're not walking the factories. So that means it's all about intelligence. Now, those of the public officials who visit factories for certain essential legal reasons, do they pick up information or labor intelligence? So I think you're talking about industrial intelligence, economic intelligence.
But do you see a conundrum here, Dr. Bedi, between what the government says it wants to do, try and ease the whole process of doing business, end Inspector Raj, end raids, and then, you also want inspectors on the ground to be constantly vigilant, to go look at factories, go inside the premise, see what's happening. Do you see a clash between, what the government would like to achieve and the fact that you've got a whole bunch of people who would like to misuse any laxity that they can benefit from?
Well, as far as the government is concerned, it's talking about minimum government, maximum governance. It's like governance. So it's talking about minimum government, but maximum citizens' responsibility also. So if citizens choose to be irresponsible, corrupt, criminal, I think then you're only making the task more difficult. So don't blame the government. And let's not bring in the name once again. I think for every little thing, we always bring one name called Modi. I think let's stop doing that. Let's talk about governance and government. And government is at every level. It's at the district level. It's at the state level. Central level comes much after. So we're talking about, if we're talking about minimum government, maximum governance in the governance, it's not without citizens' responsibility.
Because all this while, a lot of people who would have seen stories about party drugs being consumed at rave parties or in farmhouses would have assumed that this is happening through imports, that these are consignments being brought in from different countries. What your investigation shows is that this is a full-fledged racket where you've got industrial-scale manufacturing units. Instead of producing medicines, they're producing these party drugs. Why was this not caught earlier? Why was this allowed to go on for so long?
What is happening is it's not just traditional drugs. We are now talking about synthetic drugs which are being manufactured in different parts of the country, may it be Maharashtra, Gujarat, Delhi, and moreover, these people who are manufacturing these drugs have also started moving on to states which have tax shops, so that not primarily for evading tax or getting tax discounts, but to stay away from scrutiny, because they know if they start operating from those places, there'll be further less chances for them to be detected by anybody. So this has been happening on a large scale now, and these raids are an eye-opener, because this is not small-time manufacturing which is happening in a small room with a chemist and some workers. This is a big setup which is actually happening in industrial units. So what needs to be done, Rahul, is primarily, that there are many drugs which do not have any illicit use anymore, so they need to be banned. There is a need for, as Kiran Bedi was pointing out, that the policeman or beat officer cannot go to these factories. He has no jurisdiction to enter these factories and find out what's happening. So some sort of inspection is required of these factories. And moreover, the law enforcers, especially the anti-narcotics departments, need to be given more teeth so that they can operate in a stronger manner.
Okay, I'm going to leave it over there. Atir Khan and Dr. Kiran Bedi for joining us in the newsroom tonight. Thank you very much. An eye-opening investigation by Atir there, revealing how these factories are being used to manufacture recreational drugs.
Country's parliament right in front of the Russian embassy in Kabul. Eyewitnesses say it was a suicide car bomb in front of the Russian embassy. A number of casualties.
What's up, Delhi? So who are the chicks and cookers who are coming on stage?